Feeling good, enjoying the off season, enjoying the playoffs and some time away from the grind of the season.
And how, in your decision-making process, where are you?
We're making progress. Had a lot of time to think and spend some time with the family, but not ready definitively to make a decision one way or the other just yet.
What goes into that? Is it just with the family, or are you interested in what goes on with the team?
Yeah. For me, I am interested with what goes on with the team, but that's not going to affect my decision. Really, for me, my decision is just going to come down to, do I feel like I'm healthy enough to survive another season?
Do you think you're days, weeks, months away? Any idea?
That's a great question. I'm not sure.
Would you say you're medically cleared? Talking to the doctors.
No. I just had my 12-week checkup yesterday, and he's like, "Oh, you look good. You're about 6 months away from being cleared to play football." I'm like, "Oh, that's it, huh?" The whole tendon is just a long process. You know, the elbow is just like the Achilles tendon. It's 7 to 9 months from surgery, so that would put me in June or July. But I'm not worried about that. The elbow is something that'll take care of itself. I feel confident the rehab has gone well, and it will continue to go well. Really, for me, it's knee and back are the primary issues that I've been dealing with for a number of years.
What do you think for the Browns with you as far as asking you about your future? Are they just kind of giving you space to make up?
Yeah, I don't think there's any real rush at this point. Obviously, they want to know before the draft and free agency, so that if they have to make different plans, if I'm not going to be there, they want to know about it. I told them I'll make a decision when I'm ready, and let them know, and give them as much time as I possibly can.
Would you say you're leaning one way or the other, Joe?
I wouldn't say so. I think there's some days you go back and forth. And I think it's just kind of, as I'm starting to work myself back into shape, just kind of how you feel.
As you were going, I know you've talked before about how many, ibuprofen you need to take to get through a day and stuff like that. But before the tricep, were you feeling one way or the other, like, man, this is getting too much physically?
Well, it's funny because during the season, year 7, I had a back spasm that lasted 4 weeks, couldn't practice, basically couldn't tie my own shoes, and I go, this is my last year, there's no way I could do this another season, and I made it 4 more after that. So it's weird, the highs and lows that you go through during a season, especially because just the emotional and the physical toll a game takes on you. You wake up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and you just feel so terrible. It's hard to say, wow, this is a lot of fun, I want to do this again. But then the off season comes and you start to feel regenerated and rejuvenated, and you're excited about another opportunity to get a bite out of the apple. So it's hard to say based on how you feel during the season.
I know you said
what they did with hiring Dorsey and the rest of that front office crew. Does that encourage you?
I'm excited. I think Dorsey's a tremendous talent evaluator, proven general manager, and I think the future is really bright for us in Cleveland.
Joe, I know you said that you're not going to allow whatever Dorsey does here in the offseason to sway you one way or the other, but just how much are you, though, paying, assuming obviously that you are coming back, how much are you paying attention to what Dorsey is going to do or is doing this offseason to get this team in a lot better position than these last 2 years?
Well, I'm paying a lot of attention because right now I've got the #2 podcast on iTunes, and we talk Browns all the time. It's called The Tomahawk Show. I know you guys all listen. We got a new one dropping tomorrow morning, just in time for you to drive into work. So I try to keep up on things so I know what I'm talking about. But the Browns will always be my team, no matter how long I play for them. And so I'm passionate about Cleveland and the Browns, and I will be forever. So I'm very comfortable with John Dorsey. I think he's going to do outstanding things for the Browns.
When you were with the team, but hurt, and you stayed around the team, and you went on road trips and everything, what was that like for you?
It was a lot of fun. It was
Did it give you a different perspective?
It definitely did. Yeah, it was a side of the game and a side of everything that I've never seen before, and so I really enjoyed being around the guys and coaching them up and helping guys on defense. I enjoyed watching the game because as a left tackle, when I'm playing in the game, I'm just sitting there focusing on nothing but what I have to do on each play. I'm not watching the quarterback. I'm not watching the replays of the receivers catching the ball. I'm not getting excited about touchdowns. I'm not getting disappointed about fumbles. I'm not watching the defense whatsoever, because all of those things would have a negative impact on my focus on my job. So for me to be able to stand on the sideline and get excited about a Myles Garrett sack, or talk to him about what the tackle's doing and how he could get an advantage, that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
Joey, how down are you from your playing weight?
I'm about 10 pounds. Like, after the surgery, I was in the hospital for about 2 days just recuperating and just couldn't eat at all. And then after you come off of surgery, they don't let you really work out. You're not allowed to sweat for like 4 or 5 weeks. And for me, a guy who's naturally really thin, it's hard to keep my weight on unless I'm really lifting heavy. So, and eating, which I wasn't doing. So I got thin. I'm trying for quarterback next year.
How much would an OC help you guys, based on what you've seen the last couple of years?
Yeah, I think it remains to be seen. I think the first year we had Pep Hamilton, who was sort of in that OC role, and I'm not sure how much better we were than we were the previous seasons. So I think it remains to be seen, and we'll see what Hugh decides to do with that position. But I think the more smart guys you can put on your roster, the more smart guys you can put in your coaching staff, it's always going to make you better in the end, as long as everybody gets along well and there's synergy between everyone.
Is it hard for you? Is it hard for you to believe that Hugh would give up play calling, or could you see that happen?
I know how much he enjoys the play calling side of things, and he's done it for a long time, had a lot of success. So I think it would have to be the right guy for him. I don't want to speak for him, but certainly I don't think he's just going to hire somebody and then just give him the play calling duties. I would expect it would have to be somebody he really trusts and probably has worked with before, and knows that he's going to think kind of the same way that he does.
So Joe, when you say
I think it was a really tough season for Deshaun, going through the ups and downs of the NFL as a rookie, especially a 21-year-old rookie. But I think the rest of his career he'll be able to lean back on the experiences that he had this year, and it's going to make him a better quarterback in the end.
you feel he could be the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns?
Yeah, there's no reason he couldn't be.
Why'd you shave? We haven't seen you.
I think I was scaring my daughter. She was not liking the mountain man look as much.
To have a beard in the summer and no beard in the winter.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's my strategy.
Joe, when you say that you're still not leaning one way or the other, I mean...
Well, let me be honest. If I was, I wouldn't tell you anyway.
Yeah.
So that's my polite way of saying I'm not going to tell you.
Joe, is the family split? I mean, I'm sure Annie feels one way. How does the rest of your family feel?
Yeah. I don't know if my kids know that I play football, to be honest. I mean, they come to the games and they're like, oh, that's cool. We get to be on the sideline, but I don't really care. So, it's interesting, I think. When you look at like your little kids, part of you says, well, I want to play long enough so that they can remember Dad playing football. But then you wonder, well, how long would that have to be then? Because they're so young right now.
Right. What about either siblings or aunts, uncles? I'm sure everybody's invested in Joe.
Yeah. I haven't asked my aunts and uncles or any of my siblings because I'm not sure that they have influence or sway over my decision.
Gotcha.
When you do make a final decision, is this a podcast announcement? Is that inevitable?
To be honest, it's a little bit like draft day for me, where I have a hard time a little bit just talking and having the spotlight on me when it comes to that type of a decision. So I don't know, I guess I haven't gotten far enough down the decision-making rabbit hole to say, ooh, if I do retire, how do I want to do it?
Right, okay.
Can you...
Tell me what you're thinking, Jeff.
We're going to really miss you if you...
I'd miss you guys too. That definitely plays into this decision making. Maybe we can have a Thursday session just in case.
But I'm thinking about...
Yeah, you can come to Mission Barbecue and enjoy.
Yeah, good. I'm just thinking really from the Browns standpoint.
You won't miss me, but
No, get out of here. No, I'm saying we will miss you. Yeah. But I'm saying, just thinking from the Browns end, to lose, a Pro Bowl, Hall of Fame left tackle is not going to be an easy thing to do. So you think you will have a decision before free agency begins?
Yeah, like you said, there's some positions that are a little bit more difficult to sort of patch in free agency, and a lot of times quarterbacks, left tackles, cornerbacks, they don't really hit the free agent market. But certainly, if I was to retire, I'm sure they would do something.
Yeah,
you're not going to probably be able to sign like a Pro Bowl guy because they just don't hit the market.
Right.
But I think that no matter what I decide to do this year, this is my last year on my contract in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And so I'm also 33 right now.
Right.
So they need to be planning for somebody else pretty soon down the line, whether it's this year or the following year.
So can we say that you definitely won't be playing football in 2019?
I'm not ready to say anything definitively because I would hate to be wrong, because I've seen how a lot of other guys' careers has ended. You know, I grew up in Wisconsin, a Brett Favre fan, and I've seen how many times he was definitely not going to come play, and then he played for the Jets and the Vikings. So I don't want to say anything definitively. I don't know. It's hard to say. But what I can say is this is my last year of my contract in Cleveland. I don't want to play anywhere else, so I guess I haven't thought that far down the line yet.
Joe, you're a quarterback guru. Any thoughts on?
Yeah, you're right. You have been listening to me. No, I think where the Browns are with the first and the fourth pick is such a great position, because no matter how those quarterbacks end up getting rated, whether you have two guys as your top guy and then you just let one of them fall to you, or if you have one guy as a clear favorite, you can get that guy that you like. I still think it's too early in the process right now to say this is definitely the guy who's the consensus number one. But whoever that guy ends up being, the Browns are in great position.
And I asked you this earlier, and the fact that it's probably unlikely the Browns are going to be contenders for the Super Bowl next year.
You want to fight?
But I mean, you know, is that going to would that affect the decision that there's still kind of a rebuild going?
I don't think so, because honestly, the way I look at 2018 for the Browns is $100 million in cap space, the first and the fourth pick. If you look back historically, if you added two guys in free agency that were both $25 million a year, you could assume that they're probably Hall of Fame caliber.
Yeah.
Then you add a first pick and the fourth pick, who presumably could be Hall of Fame guys, or more likely probably Pro Bowl guys. You've now added 4 blue chip players to your roster. Now you've totally transformed your team.
Yeah.
Now let's just say, for instance, they signed Kirk Cousins and they picked up, I don't know who's out in free agency, but the best skill player in free agency, and you get the first and the fourth pick, whoever you want to take. Your team is really, really, really good all of a sudden overnight. And really, if I think about where we were last year as a team, we weren't that far away from winning a few games. And except for a couple of very terrible mistakes, we probably would have been 3-13, 4-12. And all of a sudden now you infuse 3 or 4 Hall of Famers. I would argue you have a chance to win the Super Bowl.
All right, so then come back.
Yeah, thanks.
Joe, I saw your name on one of the lists of possible Monday Night Football.
Yeah, the odds are going up.
Yeah. I mean, would that be something that interests you right now, and if you heard anything about it?
Tough to say. I'm actually planning on going out to Bristol in a week or two to do some of the ESPN shows out there. So we'll see. I'm not sure. It's too early in the process to really think about that. I've always tried to keep doors open. And I like football. I like talking football. I like watching football. So I think it would be a natural fit. I'm not sure if I'm definitely saying I would love it or I wouldn't love it, but it might make sense down the line.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah.